Arthur does a ton of public speaking about AI and its applications in our business lives. But I asked him to come down to earth and talk to us ordinary people about how we use it in our everyday lives, because I know you do in your everyday lives. It's just become so ubiquitous there that you probably don't think about it. But Arthur, if you decided you wanted to never mow your yard ever again, and you live in Illinois and it's dry there a lot by August, the grass turns to brown, and you said, that's it, I want to turn my whole garden, my whole yard into a zero-scape garden, so a dry garden, you could actually ask AI to give you a garden plan. Is that true?
And I love that example, because I had this book, and I can't remember the author. And this is honest vibing. This is not pre-prepared. Who was that famous author who in the 90s or 80s had a bunch of books on gardening and lawn care? Some people might know it. He had a deep and rich voice made for radio.
Okay, perfect example.
And does anybody remember who this was? Jerry Baker. That's it. See,
yes,
this is what I love about the AI. And I have a bunch of his books, so I can say, okay, you are Jerry, because I love his model. He's all about organic. He's all about you taking like dish soap and a can of beer and you spray it on your lawn to fertilize it. Jerry Baker, how can I come up with a plan to, what'd you say, to redo your garden?
To eliminate lawn mowing.
Now, I could easily ask this fairly poorly written chat right here, but we're gonna go back, and I'm gonna put it into another document here. We're gonna actually we're gonna come up with a really good prompt here, just to show people how the importance of that prompt engineering is really good, because if you're new to AI, once you start learning how to ask it to do better prompts, you'll get better at prompting, and at some point you won't need the prompt engineer prompt all the time.
This is very true. I've noticed that too. I just keep going. If I get some kind of half-hearted answer, then I'll just improve the prompt, and it can take you a little bit to get what you want. But with what Arthur's saying, that makes a lot more sense to me. Could we just all copy paste that prompt that you've got, that beginning prompt?
Yes.
Somewhere, yeah, and then just use it. Yeah.
And I'm going to skip a little bit to make it quicker, because it's actually asking what's your desired outcome, all this important stuff: location, environment, concerns, tone, and style. I just want to do a shortcut. How about I'm just Jerry Baker, and that's my prompt, and it's low maintenance. So it says, oh, yeah, I want something that's practical, low maintenance, and an alternative to traditional grass care. Oh, I like saying please, just because it helps me remind me to be polite. And what's it doing? Is it doing an image?
All right. So what I love about what just happened there, I'm going to talk over Arthur's. Okay, so you noticed Arthur said, what's it doing there? Is it getting an image? This is the vibing part. This is the playing part. This is the fun part, is just to see what it will do. You can sort of ask it anything and see what it does. And I love that we found something that Arthur hadn't stumbled upon before.
It's because the AI doesn't know. It does. Again, it's
that
not
looks lovely, by the way.
It does. So I'm just going to put, I was not expecting an image. Help me come up with an actual plan to do this for my backyard.
Also, you'll notice that Arthur is just typing away, speaking to it like it's a person. Like he's not trying to overcalculate what he's saying.
Yes, don't overthink. And here's where the magic is. It's actually quite complicated. Evaluate your space. Choose your low maintenance ground covers. Incorporate decorative landscaping. Now it's getting fancy. And now, again, to go down that rabbit hole, I could go down to each one of these steps, and I could say, tell me more about how to evaluate my space.
Yes.
Maybe I don't know. Okay, maybe I get that. What is low maintenance? By the way, I live in the Midwest versus the Southwest. How's that going to change my ground covers? Right. And you start vibing with it. Again, it's not you don't just cut and paste and say, I got my plan. You start talking about it. Now, now,
Arthur, you start vibing with it, and what you're saving yourself is about $8,000 to $10,000 with a actual garden planner. Like you're sitting on your couch watching football, you could do this and have something real that you could execute that you would have paid a garden planner $8,000 to $10,000 to do.
Yeah, and now some people might argue that, well, that's going to put garden planners out of business. Well, no, because if you're a garden planner, and you use this technology, imagine how unique you could be if you have your own personal style and let that show.
Yes. Now, okay, so here's another example. How about okay, my husband and I are going to be driving for the 4 days. Remember, we asked Dinah Garden to give us some recipes, but we got to get out and do some exercise for a half an hour, twice a day, just to keep our bodies moving. Okay. And so I thought I'd take a second with AI later on this evening and try and get it to give us a little half-hour workout to do just outside the car when we're at rest stops, so that we keep our bodies moving.
All right, I was typing this while you're talking. Let's see what happens. Again, this is the fun part about AI. You can just say, hey, we'll be driving 4,000 miles across the country. I need some mini workouts I can do at rest stops. We're older. And I just like, what ideas do you have? Just so you give it a little bit more context.
Okay.
And I see it says memory updated, so that if like tomorrow I type in about, hey, remember that trip? It's going to say, yeah, I remember that trip.
Okay, got it. This is great. Perfect.
And again, and the important thing, if especially new, is force yourself to be curious, have fun with it, be engaged, and be smart. Like, hey, what if it's raining? I hate rain. And the exclamation point is important because now it shows that I'm serious. So now it adjusts the seated leg lifts. Seated need a chest stretch. So now it actually has exercises you can do inside the
car. Okay, so what I wanted to point out, let's try one more that I had here as a list. Planned workouts are something you can do. Let's say you got a back problem. Let's say, here's one. Chuck and I, my husband and I, love to do exercises that two people have to do together. Like you do resistance with each other. And that's a very funny, keeps you laughing. You're exercising where you're laughing. And so that's where I was going to go with it.
All right. What can we do that's a lot of, you said, and fun too. A lot of fun.
Right. That's fun. And that two people are exercising together.
And beware, when you do this, sometimes it's going to come up with, it's going to go off the wrong track. And you just say, all right, you're wrong. Let's recorrect. See, partner assisted stretches, seated forward fold, partner back stretch.
Okay.
Plank high fives. I'd love to see you doing that. That's hilarious.
Plank high fives. Okay, we'll do that. Oh, I know what that is. That's like, that could be very amazing. That's like the yoga plank pose, but you have to raise one arm and give each other a high five. Chuck and I are so going to do this, Arthur. Okay, but that's the point I wanted people to get, is that this thing can just solve problems for you in a fun way.
It's overload. It's like walking I always use like my first time in Vegas. I'm like, where do I even start? And just pick an area and just go with it, because you can have the AI be anybody you want. I've done it where I'm like, you're Thomas Jefferson. Let's talk about the current state of our country, and it starts pulling historical information from Thomas Jefferson. Tell the AI to be that person and saying, okay, great, you're Elon Musk, and again, have fun of it like this. You are Elon Musk. What would he recommend for the lawn with no grass? And I'm just trying to think out loud. And this is also fun practice. Oh, see, look, I love this. Spot on. Oh, you probably do solar powered ground cover. Well, absolutely. Tech enhanced landscaping. Artificial intelligence managed biodiversity. And again, and the reason you want to vibe is because it's not so much that you're vibing, it's that mindset. Because the more that you do this, and the more this discover that you can, it's almost like improv, yes and. If you go, I'm going to be a little more engaged, a little bit more curious, a little bit more engaged. You take a business problem you have, a personal problem. I've been playing with transformation, your life transformation. Help me transform my life. Tell it to be Gandhi and help me come up with a plan to be more mindful. It's amazing what it can do. But I really love it when you start using it to reflect on yourself, because being curiously engaged also means that you can have the AI ask you questions. And I know we didn't do a lot of that, but the best thing is that you say, I have a business problem. What questions do you have for me? That's what the prompt engineering is partly doing, that one prompt engineer questions, because it says, help me optimize it by asking me questions. You can have conversations where it's like, you're Thomas Jefferson, ask me questions about who do you think I am? Or what is my purpose of life? And then all of a sudden you start talking with it, and you come up with these insights that it's a collaborative partner. That's where it's a co-intelligence. You're like, I didn't think of that. I didn't think that I could even go in that direction. And when you grasp that thing that's unique to you, you leverage the crap out of it.